Okay guys, I'm gonna try this again. Been having a little bit of trouble with my recordings, so we'll see what happens. We are adding the bus bars to my battery packs. Done made the bus bars up. Did a video on how I make those. I'll probably make one on how I actually do the twist. And it's a 3-wire home wiring that comes in like a white sheath. I can't remember if it's like a 12-3 or 12-2, but it's not real big, but once you twist them together it makes a decent sized bus bar. So anyways, after I get these made up, here's I'll show you one of them here that's loose. Okay, and I solder these ends on. I think it's got like a 5/16 hole in it, so it should be plenty big enough. It's already got this right here. I ordered it, and these are like pre-tinned. And anyways, get them twisted up. I made them pretty much in a jig. They're all pretty much exactly the same size and shape. I got them to where they kind of tilt out a little bit. If you see this right here, kind of sticks out a little bit, makes it easier to join the two. So when they're done, I may or may not put like a bolt in here, depending on how I'm gonna do it. I may do all thread. That way when I put them in here, I can actually separate them a little bit and keep the battery packs apart just a hair. And that way I can put my balancing leads in here. So the all thread will go through with a nut. Put a nut on here. Balancing lead will contact on one side. Of course, this will be a positive on this side. Then another nut, a balancing lead, and then another nut to tighten all this down. So that's kind of my theory I'm working with right now. The balancing lead for my Batrium is also going to have fuses on all the balancing leads. You can't have enough fuses to make sure if things get shorted that you don't damage things. So anyways, I'm gonna get right down to it. I do got my tabbing here. I cut these approximately 1.5 inches long, and I cut them. I used like a little slicer. It's like a paper slicer. I bought it online. It's just really cheap, but it's really handy because it's got measurement on it. And then I will take these and kind of give them just a little bit of just to kind of flatten everything out and give it just a little bit of a curve. And it might be overkill, but I also take and trim off the corners. So just a little pet peeve of mine. And of course that gives you less sharp corners to get caught on when you're moving these things. Okay, so that's the reason I do it. And just kind of just knock the corners off with a pair of scissors. And then I mark them pretty well where to lay them in here, because the jig I created was from one of these cell holders, basically same exact size. And then I put them on here and I mark them with a marker, and then I spot weld one side, spot weld this side, all the way down through here. These are standing up, haven't been spot welded yet, and I'm getting ready to do those as well. So I'll do 2, 4, 6 this way, and then I do 2 on the end, and that keeps this right here from sliding or moving, and keeps it, and I can adjust it to make sure it's at my 2 inches. And right now it's pretty close perfect. So then when I spot weld these in place, then it's not moving. Okay, and then I go down through here and I'm gonna solder all these. So here shortly, I'm gonna go ahead and let my soldering iron heat up, and I'll probably have to wet my foam, but I'm gonna finish these spot welds and show you how I'm doing that. You can get whatever type of spot welder you want. The one I got is working really well for me, and when I get a chance I'll see if I can't look up real quick and see where I got this one at. I'm pretty sure I got it from a guy in like Germany or something like that. He creates them, and they work really well. This last setup, it's actually a 3D printed case, and you guys can take a little look. So he did a 3D printed case. You buy it, you can put it all together, and it's really easy to assemble. And I'm using a LiPo battery. Ooh, I felt the fan. Make me a little cover to cover that fan. Anyways, So just pretty much fold this over. I try to make sure these are kind of central on the bus bars. That way if I have to remove a cell, it's going to be a little easier. If I have one below, then I can come back later and maybe remove a cell. This has got auto pulse on it. You can set however many seconds. Once you touch both leads, it'll pulse and fire the spot weld within however many seconds you determine. So if you want it to be a little quicker or a little slower, that's all adjustable, and it's really nice. So makes it almost hands-free. And the only thing I really would like to have is a 3D printed holder to hold these at the position of spot weld, and then that way I don't have to always pick these up. I can just grab it, pick it up, place it spot weld. So that might be a future project. I've been really kind of leaning toward maybe getting a 3D printer. Been doing some research online. So that might be a future purchase. So for right now though, we're going to kind of do it this way. Alright, so put that one down in there, get it lined up. Woo! And that was on the end of the tabbing, so it blew a hole in it. So if you've not got metal underneath, when you try to spot weld, it will literally blow a hole in your tabbing and scare the crap out of you sometimes. You know, I only got this set on like 9 milliseconds. You can adjust up and down. That's the nice thing about this as well. That's what I like, depending on the thickness of your material. You can adjust your jumping and moving there. I've got everything knocked out of where I want. But I usually put it on about 11 for tabbing spot welding to the batteries. 11, 12ish, depending on how fully charged my battery is. And you can run this off of a lead acid battery. You can run this off of like I got a LiPo battery. So that's the nice thing about it too. It gives you many options of what you can run this off of. Okay. Oh, there it is. As I was saying, I'm trying to pick that one up, and it's already spot welded. Push it down, around, and then kind of push it back. That way it just kind of fully encapsulates the cell, or the bus bar. Alright, so that one's on, that one's on, that one's on. All, so 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to solder these. Okay. And then this will go into standby mode if you don't use it for a little while. So that's another feature I like. I'll be right back. And the nice thing about editing software, I'll probably edit this out so you probably won't even see it. So anyway, so I'm back and we're going to start doing the soldering. I got 469 Celsius on my soldering iron, and that's just almost maxed out. And that's about all what it takes, because it actually takes quite a bit to heat these up and get them to where this solder will adhere to the bus bar itself. days amongst all the other projects I'm in the middle of. And I didn't have the temperature quite maxed out because I really didn't want to. I was afraid it would burn up my soldering iron or my solderer. It actually has a hot air, and it's a 862D ESD. So that's like a rework station. It's got solder in, it's got hot air. So the hot air gun really works well for when you're doing shrink tubing. I mean, if you get small or large tubing, that thing, it'll actually bring components off of a it'll desolder with the hot air, so it works really well. Alright, got that one. So that's that process. I'm gonna let her cool down just a little bit. Flip this over. We're gonna put the bus bar on the other side, and this will be actually number 3, so I'll have 3 batteries done. So anyways, like, subscribe, make any comments, you guys. If you got anything, suggestions you think I should change or do, I'm open for suggestions. Just trying to share with the community out there things that I've learned and things I'm trying to see if I can make my batteries work well for me. And if there's something you guys can pick up that I'm doing that helps you, then that's well and good. Okay, so we'll be seeing you.